Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to Lodi Audio channel, Lodi Audio Books. In this video, we will continue Bahar Shariat in English, Volume 1. And before start, if you still not subscribed, please subscribe and press bell icon. So let's start. When the people of paradise wish to meet each other, they will sit on their thrones and will be automatically transported to the place they wish to go. In another narration, it is said that grand vehicles and horses will be brought to them, and they will mount those horses or vehicles and go wherever they wish to go. The lowest among the people of paradise will have gardens, wives, luxurious servants and thrones, gifts so many that they will reach a distance of 1,000 years, and those who are more beloved to Allah will behold Him, that is, see Allah, in the morning and in the evening. When the people of paradise have all entered paradise, Allah Ta'ala will ask them, "Do you desire for anything more?" They will reply, "You have made our faces radiant, you have allowed us to enter paradise, you have given us salvation and saved us from hellfire. What more can we ask for?" It is at this moment that the veil upon the sight of creation will be lifted, and they will behold their Lord Almighty, and they will realize that there is no greater bounty than the vision of the Lord Almighty. Allahumma arzuqna ziyarata wajhikal karima wajhikal karimi bijahi habibika raufur rahim alayhi salatu wa taslim. Amin. Translation: O Allah, grant us the blessing of divine vision, that we see you for the sake of your beloved, the kind and merciful Prophet, upon whom be blessings and salutations. Amin. Hell. Hell is a terrible place which is the manifestation of the divine wrath of Allah, the subduer. The mercy of Allah and His blessings are infinite, and the farthest a human can imagine is merely a whiff of the comforts and luxuries present in the hereafter. Similarly, His anger is dreadful and immense. The worst punishment and pain one can imagine is only a sample of the terrors and torment awaiting as punishment in hell. I will mention some of the punishments mentioned in the glorious Quran and the Hadith, so that believers may fear and seek Allah's refuge and refrain from committing sins, whose recompense is punishment in hell. In the Hadith, it is said, when a man seeks refuge from hell, Jahannam, hell, will itself say, "O Allah, my Creator, he seeks refuge from me. Give him refuge and deliver him." In the Quran, we frequently come across warnings such as "Save yourselves from Jahannam" and "Fear hellfire." Our Master Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam would often seek refuge from hell to teach us that we should do so often. The sparks of fire from Gehenna will fly as high as towering castles, as if they were a continuous stream of yellow camels coming incessantly. The fuel of hell will be humans and stones. The hotness of the fire in this world is merely 1/70th of the intensity of the fire of hell. The person who will receive the least amount of punishment in hell will be made to wear shoes of fire, and the heat of which will cause his brain to boil like the boiling of a copper vessel. That person will think that he has been given the harshest punishment, even though his would be the lightest. Allah Ta'ala will ask him, "If the whole earth and everything in it were yours, would you give it as a ransom to escape this punishment?" That person will say, "Of course." Allah Ta'ala will tell him, "I had commanded you to do something easier before you were born. We had only commanded you to not commit disbelief, kufr, but you did not listen." The fire of hell was kindled for 1,000 years until it became red, and then it burned for another 1,000 years and became white. Eventually, it turned black. The fire of hell is now pitch black and does not emit any light. The angel Jibreel informed Rasulullah with an oath that if hell were opened as much as the eye of a needle, all the humans on earth would die due to its heat. And he said with an oath, if any of the guards of the hell were to appear in this world, people would die of sheer horror. And he said it with an oath, if one link from the chains in hell were to be placed on a mountain of this world, they would tremble and shake and become pulverized. The fire of this world seeks the refuge of Allah, beseeching Him to not return it to hell, and who does not know the heat of the fire in this world. Surprisingly, humans do things that will take them to hell and do not fear that fire from which even the fire of this world seeks refuge. Only Allah knows how deep hell is. It is mentioned in the hadith that if a rock were dropped from its outer edge, it would keep falling and not reach the bottom even after 70 years. But a ball of lead the size of a human head cast from the sky will reach the earth by nightfall, even though it is at a distance of 500 years. And then there are many levels, ravines and gorges in hell. Some ravines are so terrifying that hell itself seeks refuge from them more than 70 times every day. This is the ghastliness of the place. Would this not be terrifying enough even if there was no punishment therein? Yet disbelievers will be punished in various ways in such a horrendous pit. The angels of hell will pound the dwellers of hell with steel maces so heavy that if one such mace were to be placed on the earth, all the men and jinn would not be able to lift it. There are scorpions and snakes in it as thick as the neck of Bactrian camels whose bite will cause pain and burning for 1,000 years. Water, boiling hot and viscous like oil, left over after frying will be given as drink to those in hell. It will be so hot that when it comes near one's face, the skin of the face will melt and drip from it. Boiling hot water will be poured upon their heads. The pus from the festering wounds of other inhabitants of hell will be given to them to drink. Pieces from a thorny bush will be given to them to eat. If a drop from this tree, Zakum, were to fall on earth, its stench and toxicity would destroy the livings of the people on earth. Its thorns will choke those who eat it. They will ask for water to push it down their throats, and they will be served boiling water. When it comes near their face, the skin of their face will melt and drop to the ground. They will still drink it, and it will rend their intestines to pieces, which will flow like a soup out of their bodies towards their feet. The thirst will force them to drink such water, and they will rush to drink it as a thirsty camel would drink water. The inhabitants of hell will discuss among themselves and decide to call upon Malik and chief of the guards of hell. O Malik, ask your Lord to annihilate us after 1,000 years. Malaik will say, why do you complain to me? Tell this to him whom you have disobeyed. The people of hell will call upon Allah, invoking him by his divine names of mercy for 1,000 years and will not get any reply. He will then say, begone, do not speak to me, stay in hell. It is at this moment that the disbelievers will lose all hope and will shriek and wail, making noises like that of a donkey's braying. In the beginning there will be tears, and after that they will cry tears of blood. Their weeping will cause big holes in their throats. The tears of blood and pus will be so much as if they were rivers in which ships can float. The faces of the people of hell will be so horrifying and revolting that if such a face were seen in this world, the people on earth would die due to its stench and ugliness. Their bodies will be enlarged such that the distance between each shoulder would be a distance of 3 days. Each molar will be as huge as the Ohud mountain. The thickness of their skin will be 42 cubits. Their tongues will be as long as 3 miles and will be dangling out of their mouths for a couple of more miles. Others will trample upon it. Their seats will be as huge as the distance between Mecca and Medina. Their mouths will be gaping, the upper lip will be stretched up to the middle of their faces, and lower lip will be dangling until their navels. These descriptions imply that the faces and bodies of the people in hellfire will not be like those of humans. Moreover, the human form is the best form of creation, which is beloved to Allah Ta'ala as it resembles the form of His beloved Messenger. The form of the dwellers of hell will be despicable as described earlier. Eventually, the disbelievers will be locked in boxes of fire that can accommodate their bodies. A fire lit inside those boxes and a log of fire placed upon it. This box will be placed in another box and another fire burning between these boxes, and yet another log of fire placed on the second box. Similarly, the second box will be placed in a third box and a log of fire placed upon it. Every disbeliever will think that he or she must be the only person who has remained in hell. This is an additional torment apart from the physical punishment, which will be everlasting and never ending. After the last man to be allowed into paradise will have entered it, and only those who are to stay in there forever will be remained. Death will be brought in the form of a ram and stationed between paradise and hell, and an announcer will call the dwellers of paradise, who will peek out in trepidation, fearing that they may be ordered to leave. The announcer will call the dwellers of hell, who will come to peek in expectation, eagerly hoping that their punishment would end, and they will be asked, "Do you recognize this?" Everyone will reply, "Yes, this is death." The ram, that is death, will be slaughtered, and the announcer will say, "O dwellers of paradise, you will live in there forever and you will never die. O dwellers of hell, you will live in there forever and there will not be any death." At this moment, the dwellers of paradise will rejoice, as their happiness will be doubled, and the dwellers of hell will be in double the agony. Translation: We beseech Allah to forgive us and grant us safety in our religious affairs and in this world and in the hereafter. In this video we will finish here, and we will continue in the next video because new chapter is starting. So till then, Allah Hafiz, goodbye. Please don't forget to share and subscribe. We will meet in the next video, inshallah. Till then, goodbye.